The first time I realized the HOA president had a problem with me, I was sitting on the porch of my lakeside cabin, coffee in hand, watching the morning fog peel off the water like a slow curtain rise. My cabin wasn't flashy, just cedar siding, a tin roof, and a wide deck facing the dock, but it was solid, quiet, and mine. I'd owned the land for over a decade, long before the luxury lake community. Next door slapped up stone signs and started charging people for permission to breathe near the shoreline. Still, that didn't stop Karen, the self-appointed ruler of the HOA, from marching down the gravel path one morning with a clipboard tucked under, her arm and authority dripping from her tone. She informed me, without introducing herself, that my structure violated community standards and that I'd need to vacate until permits were reviewed. I just smiled, because I'd heard this kind of confidence before from people who had absolutely no idea who they were talking to. Things escalated fast. A week later, while I was repairing a loose board on the dock, Karen reappeared, this time flanked by two residents filming me on their phones like I was some kind of criminal. She shouted that I was trespassing on HOA-controlled waterfront property and demanded I stop illegal construction immediately. I tried, explaining politely that the dock wasn't HOA property, that the permits were already approved, and that calling the sheriff would only waste everyone's time. That's when she pulled out her phone, smirked, and dialed 911 right in front of me, loudly, dramatically. She told the dispatcher there was an uncooperative squatter threatening the safety of the community by altering shared infrastructure. I leaned back against a piling, crossed my arms, and waited. When someone is that wrong, interrupting them only delays the fun. The sheriff's boat arrived about 15 minutes later, cutting through the water with a low hum. Karen practically ran down the dock to greet them, launching into her speech before the deputy's boots even dried. She waved her clipboard, pointed at my cabin, and insisted I be removed immediately. The deputy listened patiently, then turned to me and asked for my side. I handed him a folder, deeds, surveys, permits, all neatly labeled. He flipped through it once, then again more slowly. His eyebrows climbed. Karen's smile started to slip. The deputy looked back at her and asked a simple question. "Ma'am, are you aware this gentleman owns the dock?" She scoffed and said the HOA controlled all shoreline access. That's when the second deputy chimed in, noting that the permits Karen's HOA had been using for years were approved by me.